Dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to hear and see this video message. In this video, I am going to explain below poverty line calculation in India. This article I wrote on 16th May 2020 and content for this suggestion already I sent to our union government through citizens portal mygovernment.in. Content for this video I given in the description, you can go through and study. Below poverty line is a benchmark used by the government of India to indicate economic disadvantage and to identify individuals and households in need of government assistance and aid. It is determined using various parameters which vary from state to state and within states. The present criteria are based on a survey conducted in 2002. Going into a survey due for a decade, India's central government is undecided on criteria to identify families below poverty line. Poverty calculation helps economic plan with the fundamental aim to ensure an adequate standards of living for the masses. Below poverty line census is conducted by the Ministry of Rural Development along with the partnership of state in order to identify the poor households. Poverty estimation paves the way for poverty elimination that in turn prepares the ground for a just and equitable society. It depends not only on income but also helps on access to social services. Poverty, according to the World Bank, poverty is a pronounced deprivation in well-being and comprises many dimensions. It includes low income and the inability to acquire the basic goods and services necessary for survival with dignity. Absolute poverty, according to the United Nations World Summit for Economic Development, absolute poverty is a condition characteristic by severe deprivation of basic human needs, including food, safe drinking water, sanitation facilities, health, shelter, education, and information. Poverty line. The conventional approach to measuring poverty is to specify minimum expenditure or income required to purchase a basket of goods and services necessary to satisfy basic human needs, and this minimum expenditure is called the poverty line. Poverty threshold. The poverty threshold in absolute measurement of poverty is set using the monetary value of basket of essential products required for basic needs, and every household whose income is less than this value will be classified as poor. Mixed reference period MRB. From 1999-2000 onwards, the NSSO switched to an MRB method which measures consumption of 5 low frequency items, that is clothing, footwear, durables, education and institutional health expenditure over the previous year and all other items over the previous 30 days. In case of consumption based poverty line, sample based surveys use a reference period say 30 days in which households are asked about their consumption of last 30 days and it is taken as the representative of general consumption. Poverty line estimation in India is based on the consumption expenditure. Income of self-employed people, daily wage laborers is highly variable both temporarily and spatially, while consumption pattern are comparatively much stable. Poverty line formulated based on minimum standard of living perspective in which nutritional requirements are implicit. In India, according to last committee which was set up in 2011 and 12, see Rangarajan committee, person earning 32 rupees per day in rural area and 47 rupees per day in urban area will be considered below poverty line. Internationally, an income less than rupees 150 per day per head of purchasing power parity is defined as extreme poverty. Income-based poverty line consider the bare minimum income to provide basic food requirements It does not account for other essentials such as healthcare and education. In its ninth 5-year plan 95 to 2002, below poverty line for rural area was set at annual family income less than rupees 20,000, less than 2 hectares land, and no television or refrigerator. This figure was in force until September 2006. In its 10th 5-year plan 2002 and 2007 survey, below poverty line for rural areas was based on the degree of deprivation in respect of 13 parameters with scores from 0 to 4: land holding, types of cows, clothing, food security, sanitation, consumer durables, literacy status, labor force, means of livelihood, status of children, types of indebtedness, reasons for migration, etc. In its 10th 5-year plan, below poverty line for urban areas was based on degree of deprivation in respect of 7 parameters: roof, floor, water, sanitation, education level, types of employment, and status of children in a house. It has been implemented since then. Those spending over rupees 32 a day in rural area and rupees 47 in town and cities should not be considered poor, an expert panel headed by former RBI governor. But in the beginning of 90s, the government of Kerala started utilizing multi-dimensional approach to measure poor household in the state. This method, called the Kerala method, was developed by NGO and executed through the local government called Panchayat. This method employs 9 parameters as core indicators and 8 more criteria to measure poverty in the state. The core indicator of poverty are related to housing, caste and tribe, source of income, presence of babies, presence of drug addicts, literacy and sanitation in the household. The additional indicators are composed of socio-cultural factors unique to local regions. Each of the indicators are weighed unequally and severity of each is taken into account. This method was created by involving neighborhood groups called Ayal Kootangal. This approach is viewed as bottom-up because the local people were entangled in the creation of this approach and selection of indicator of poverty. This marked the Kerala method as more participatory than the below poverty line.